Hello, I'm Gary Kaufman, Product Manager of Digger Specialties, and we're here to do an instructional video on how to put our merchandising rack for the CHR, the continuous handrail, together. As you get this first box, this is your main box. It has a sticker on there that says main box, and you're going to have on the front of this packing area here that'll have your CHR planogram on here, and then behind it you'll also have a set of instructions in here for how to put this together. It'll be taped to this box so it doesn't get lost or anything. So as we open the box, you'll see all the main parts. Several different boxes inside. You have your base, which is going to be your main part, your mat that goes underneath the base. Just going to start pulling these parts out, and these go on the bottom to help hold the tubes in. You've got your signs here in box 3. A couple of little racks here that will hold your literature for you. And then over here you have in box 2 some of the hooks and clasps that will be holding the rack together. Box 1 has some other assorted parts in it as well that will help with everything you need. And then we have the main part of it, your 4 grids. We'll pull out 2 of these. As you'll see, look the same, and then there's 2 others that look the same. 2 will not have a J channel on them, and 2 will have a metal J channel on them that will be used for holding your signs. This is what I'm referring to when I talk about the J channel. Got these little parts here. The one sign will slide in, the other one will slide in from the top. Now that we have all the parts out, we're going to begin the assembly. So I'm going to open box 2 here. This will have some of the parts we need to hold this together. It has the feet in here that will be used for the base of the unit. Some pins that we're using to hold the rack onto the base. Feet here. We have all the hooks that you'll see. These will hold the parts in place. Then we also have the clasps that are in here that will hold this in place. So we're going to just open the bag with the feet, and you just have to thread them in. You can set these at whatever height you want. Generally try to keep them even. If you got an uneven floor, as you can see, you can adjust it a little bit. So once you get those all put on and you get everything leveled the way you want, I'm going to open up the clasps here because I'm going to need a couple of these. There should be 12 of these in here. You need 3 for each connection. As I said before, you got 2 different styles here that you're going to have. You can have one that has a J channel and one that does not. So when you put this in here, you'll know that you want to take this little cutout here on the bottom here. You want to make sure that's over where the foot has threaded in. That way it doesn't interfere with that working. You'll take these 2 together like this. Can be done with 2 people. 1 person can do it. It might be a little easier with 2 people to do this when you do this first set of these. So once we get this put in place, you'll want to start putting your clasps on. I'm putting this one down as low as I can, down here. And I use a screw gun. It's just a little bit easier than trying to use a screwdriver. You put 3 anywhere in here. And what I'm doing is pointing the head of the screw, or the machine screw, toward the center, and you'll see as we put this more together, that way it points in towards, there's going to be an empty void in here. That way the screw heads are pointing in, they won't have a chance to scratch any of the product. So that's why I'm doing that. And then we'll just continue to repeat this process as we go around and continue to connect the other ones. What you'll want to end up with is you have these J channels here. This one will be just opposite of it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one next. So once we get all of the clasps put together, we also have these little pins that we have right here, these 4 pins. And as you'll see on the front here, each one of these, there's a little hole right down here, and your pin is going to go through each side. What this will do is keep the grids into the base so they don't slide out. Okay, now we're gonna, so we got this all put together. We got some extra parts we got to get out yet. This is box 1. You'll see it labeled here. In here we have the upper arms that'll hold the tubes. These get put together. Just hang off the top. You have 2 sets of brochures that will go in your brochure racks here once we're done. We have some color selectors that'll be in here. So in here you've got 2 pieces of cable. They'll be used for holding these on with some crimps. You've got some fender washers that will also be used there, and then you've got these nuts and bolts that will be used to hold these arms in place up top, and then some zip ties that'll be used down on these lower racks just to keep them from flipping up. So for this upper rack, we have these 4 parts right here. You're going to have a back piece that will hold this in place. You're going to hook these 2 over the top. This one with this little hook here is going to be on the outside. And then you've got this right here, which will say caution. So this is so we can open that up. So we need to slide this in back through here, in between the 2 pieces of the rack. You're going to need a nut and a bolt for each one of these assemblies. Just want to get it started first, and then you can finish it out. Again, you'll need your screw gun here. Still the Phillips bit, 7/16 inch socket. You can hold on the back. And you'll use this same nut and bolt combo to start this. You'll want this relatively snug, and you want to make sure, like I said, you want it opening here. So what we're going to do when we put the product in, we're going to have it leaning this way, so you want this to swing open like this. But you want this rather snug so it stays tight and doesn't just move around. Like, you don't want it to move around too much like that. So you'll want this nut on the back side to be rather snug. You want it a little bit snug can go a little bit tighter than that, but that's where you'll want it. Okay, once we have the top rack put in, then we're going to take this bottom rack, drop it down in here, down as low as we can, hooks in place. And then what we want to do is, so this can't flip up in case a rod grabs a hold of that. Just 2 little zip ties, it doesn't take much. There's 2 little holes down. I'll show you this. Actually, I'll unhook this and show you. There's 2 little holes down here that you can use. Put the zip tie through there. Then it will hold in place. Make sure it goes around the rack when you do this. Then it'll hold in place and you can cut these down after you're done. Nothing major, but it just keeps it from rocking back and forth. So we have our racks here for your brochures. And those are just going to hang right here, one on each side. I'm going to walk over here and put this other one on. This will end up over here, right around here. So they're on opposite sides of each other. Just open those up and put the brochures in there. So now we're going to put on you've got your wire here that we're going to use to hold your color selectors in place. You got 2 of these. You'll need 2 swage, double sleeve swages. I'm going to go around here, put this end back in. Crimp those in place, and then you're going to go and take your color selectors and put those on the other end, along with a little fender washer to help. So you want to slide all of these on. And put the washer on next. And then finish with your crimp. So now if you remember on your large package main box, we had this planogram that was in there with the instructions. This will help you hang your hooks that we have down on in box 2. You're going to need 18 per side to hold. You can kind of see here on the planogram how they go. You can use this as you place these hooks. You're going to need 5 across the first row. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And just place them in a general vicinity, and when you start hanging parts, you can slide them around to where you need to side. Then as you'll note here, up here at the top here, this dark line here represents this J channel. So you can count down from here. So these are on the first rod coming down. Then we're going to go 3 below that, and you're going to put your next row, and that's 5 there. And once you're done hanging these, then you can just repeat on the opposite side, and just use your J track and then your planogram. And then again, once you begin to hang the parts, you can use this planogram again to find where all the parts go. So we have our planogram here again. We've got box 3 down here. This has all of our signage for parts and for the whole rack up at top. That's what the J channel is for, that we've talked about before on these 2 parts. You notice each part will have a little sticker back here. It'll hang on here to tell you what parts there in case you run out, because some parts are really popular. Then you'll be able to hang your parts according to these signs. As I said, when they run out, you got a little Notice here it says I'm really popular. Please ask the associate for this item. And the part number is right there. Your picture of it so they can see clearly what it is. Now we have the two signs here that will go up top. They're two different signs. Your one will slide in here from the side. Then your other one will slide in from the top.